What's going on, guys? Dualum here, back again with another video. And today, we're going to be talking about 50-ish facts for Marvel Strike Force. And some of these are pretty crazy, and I had a lot of fun making this video. So if you're ready, let's get into it. When an enemy has vulnerable, they take 10% increased damage from all incoming damage. When you equip a single gear piece to a character, the amount of stats gained on the right side of your screen is different from the stats that they actually gain, and this is because of Stark Tech, Red Stars, and Diamonds. You have a 0.05% chance of pulling a 7 Red Star promotion from a basic Red Star orb. This is the equivalent of 1 in every 2,000. The initial core orbs have a slightly better drop rate for the jackpot at 0.13%, which is equivalent to 1 in every 769 orbs. With 284 characters in the game at this time, at 23,403,000 gold, it would take 6.5 billion gold to rank up every single one of them to level 100. Each color training material has a gold equivalent. The green one is at 315 gold, the blue one is at 1,250 gold, the purple one is 5,000, and the gold one is 10,000. So you can use this to see how much gold you have compared to training materials. Being number 1 in Arena nets you 500 cores a day. This is the equivalent to 15,000 cores per month, or 180,000 cores per year. Wolverine and Storm did not have the mutant tag on release, and there's really been no explanation as to why. Phantom X is the only character in the game to gain 10,000% resistance against bleed. Similarly, Doc Ock and his allies gain 10,000% resistance against offense down. If you search Mutant and City, you only get 3 characters. This is the lowest combination of any zone and any origin in all of Marvel Strike Force. Scarlet Witch's original artwork for Marvel Strike Force was a little bit too risque, so they had to change it into what we know today. Before Scarlet Witch was reworked for Darkhold, she had 0 armor. Before Kingpin was reworked for Underworld, he also had 0 armor, and this added to his minions. Swarm also had 0 armor before he was reworked for Infestation, and no one knows why. Ghost Rider has 2 different animations for Penance Stare. Here's the original, but if he targets either Punisher or Thanos, he does this instead. Kestrel's real name isn't Kestrel, it's actually Sybil Tan. In the JSON files, Hela's minion, Undead Asgardian, is named Greg after the developer who made the character. Deadpool was the first character released via raids. The second was none other than Thanos himself, who had 3 different raid tiers on release. There's a third character who was released via raids. Do you know who it is? Because I do. When the original Wakandan team was announced, they were touted as being the quote-unquote Apex raid team according to Scopely. It takes a total of 12,970,000 XP to hit level 100. Spider-Woman was the first character released via a month-long milestone. Spider-Man Noir's ultimate cannot be counterattacked, even though there's no mention of this in his kit anywhere. Black Widow and Quake were 2 characters that were almost nerfed on release. The reason why is because Quake put out a field-wide slow, and Black Widow at over 140 speed would lap her enemies over and over again. Icarus and Cersei were ridiculously strong on release, and there were rumors that they were going to be nerfed as well. But that's all this turned out to be, rumors. Scopely never intended on nerfing them. On the other hand, Mephisto was actually buffed. He got a 50% health, focus, armor, and resistance boost, and they also took away his ability to be affected by Exhausted. This was ridiculous and caused for so much problems in a lot of game modes. A week later, they ended up going back on this, and they made it so his exhaust mechanic would only work if he had 2 exhausted on him. But was this good enough? Shield Medic is the only minion in the game who actually has a costume. Spider Slayer ult hits 4 different times, twice from Spider Slayer himself, and 2 more times from the highest damage allies. But if the first 2 hits that Spider Slayer goes out kills the enemy, it's actually a permanent kill. Iron Man is one of the most popular Marvel characters in the entire world. Unfortunately, in Marvel Strike Force, he's been absolutely terrible since his release as the first legendary, and even after his rework with Bionic Avengers. Omega Red is the last legendary to be unlocked under old means before packs and trials started. He's also the last legendary to not require dark promotion credits. Void Knight, Magneto, and Polaris are the only 3 characters in the game who can change the placement of the enemies with their ultimate abilities. Moon Knight is the only character in the game with negative 1,000% block chance, and no one really knows why. He's got an upcoming rework with a new team that's yet to be named or yet to come, so hopefully Scopely either addresses this or changes it because it's just super weird. Blitz is notoriously the least favorite game mode in Marvel Strike Force. But did you know that the cooldown for Blitz used to be 6 hours? Then they changed it to 4 hours, then they changed it to 2 hours, and most recently, they changed it to 1 hour, and I hope it stays that way. There are over 32 minions in the game, and the reason why a lot of people realized this was because we were forced to build minions to unlock Archangel for his initial release. Thankfully, that's been changed to be something much more player-friendly. Super Scroll passive is the most applied T4 by players in the entire game at 97.6%. In a close second place is Apocalypse's Awakened passive at 96%. And the only reason I think that Apocalypse isn't higher is because Super Scroll is actually easier to unlock than Apocalypse is right now, which hopefully is changing soon. Bloodborne Nanobots is by far the least used unique in the entire game. There are only 6 characters that use it, and 4 of them being minions, and the other 2 are completely out of the meta. So Lord knows we're going to be stocked up on these for a while. On the other hand, Molecular Cloth is the most used unique, with 14 characters taking it, and a lot of them still being in the meta. Alright, so I lied. Bloodborne Nanobots is not the least used unique in the game. It's actually Olympus Extract, and this unique has not even been used by anybody. A lot of rumors were flying around when this first was released via a milestone event, and people were thinking that there was going to be some sort of Odin or Asgardian rework coming, but nothing came of it. The Augmented Catharsis was an item that Scopely gave us for the Marvel Strike Force 6th anniversary event. The problem is, most people weren't able to use this because it is a Deathpool's unique on her middle left, and the problem is, most everybody already had her upgraded to tier 17 or tier 18, and this item specifically is used to upgrade her to gear tier 17. Arena Orb used to be called Kingpin's Vault. It awarded Kingpin Shards, Purple Catalyst, Gold Gear, and T4 ability materials. It also used to cost 675 arena credits, which is a lot different from the Arena Orb that we know today, which is also still just trash. You can refresh the supply store a total of 10 times with cores at 50, 100, 200, 400, 800, 1200, 1600, 2400, 3200, and 4000, totaling in 27,900 cores. There are currently 5 Peter Parker variants in the game: Spider-Man Noir, Peter B. Parker, Spider-Man Big Time, OG Spider-Man, and Symbiote Spider-Man, and this is just too many. Mephisto has the highest health in the game at 9.5 million, which is double second place. He also has the highest damage in the game at 308,906. A character rarely unlocks at 1 star, but here's all of them so far. We have Nightcrawler, Nebula, America Chavez, Thing, Shocker, Rhino, Ms. Marvel, Jessica Jones, Hawkeye, Elektra, Bullseye, Deadpool, and Gambit. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed. That was 50-ish facts for Marvel Strike Force. And if you did like this one, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below something I could use if you want me to do a part 2. I had a lot of fun making this video, doing the research for it, and I had a lot of help from people like Mobile Gamer, Updog, Run7, and Pathfinder Gaming, to name a few. So if you guys do want to see a part 2 of this, let me know. But until next time, this has been Doolum. Later, y'all.